controversial new law aimed at cracking down on hate speech is now in effect in Scotland. The Hate Crime and Public Order Act creates a new crime of, quote, stirring up hatred related to age, disability, religion, sexual orientation, or gender identity. You break this law if you communicate or behave in a way, quote, that a reasonable person would consider to be threatening or abusive. And get this, prosecutors only need to prove that stirring up hatred was likely rather than intended, kind of up to the eye of the beholder. Critics warn it will have a chilling effect on free speech, and one of those critics is Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling, who lives in Scotland. She's practically daring police to arrest her for her views on gender, writing, quote, freedom of speech and belief are at an end in Scotland if this accurate description of biological sex is deemed criminal. I'm currently out of the country, but if what I've written here qualifies as an offense under the terms of the new act, I look forward to being arrested when I return to the birthplace of the Scottish Enlightenment. We do have a response from the police in Scotland. We'll pull that up now. A Scotland spokesperson tells us this: we have received complaints in relation to J.K. Rowling's social media posts. The comments are not assessed to be criminal, and no further action will be taken. She's free, Harris.
Oh, my gosh. Yes. I mean, they have to explain freedom.
After Braveheart, he yelled it, didn't he?
Freedom. Oh, my gosh, Braveheart, my favorite.
Yeah. He fought it. That's what he yelled right before he went at it. I don't want to give away the ending.
Oh, he yelled freedom.
Yeah.
I think Mel Gibson would love if you would, so we'll all go scramble and see the movie again. Make him even richer. Look, I mean, I just hope we're not watching this so that we have to learn some of the same lessons. We have people in this country who lose their job when they misidentify someone, whether it's not, you know, it's accidental. They're not really sure what's before them. You guys have seen the videos. I mean, there's several that are in pharmacies that are on YouTube where people are very angry because they've been called the wrong name, so on and so forth. So this is going to be troubling. This is like yelling fire in a crowded theater where there is no fire. So they want to say that this is the equivalent to that. No.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not a breach in free speech. This is a transition period for people to, I suppose, go to the next level of our understanding of how we're going to negotiate new terms for people. Just learn people's first names.
Yeah, so Brian Kilmeade for the win. I mean, William Wallace yelled freedom, like the best scene in cinematography, but I guess it's freedom except if you misgender.
A lot of extra opportunities in those fight scenes. If you got cast. A couple of things. The Scottish actually set the foundation for education in our country because they taught the founding fathers. So it's kind of scaring me that the Scottish are leading the charge on the worst series of hate crime laws in the history of planet Earth. Also, I think it's also noteworthy that Prime Minister Sunak backs J.K. Rowling's. He says, we're conservatives over in the UK. We're not, we don't go for this at all. And the whole misgendering thing, if you don't put the right pronoun, you don't refer to... I thought that was a phase. I thought we're out of that phase. I know the biggest turnoff I get is to get an email with the gender, with the pronouns in brackets. It makes me not want to answer it right away.
Well, I get called Mr. Harris Faulkner all the time. I mean, I have a man's name for a first name.
Do you sue?
Should sue.
No, I just say it's Ms.
Right.
If you're nasty, it's Miss Jackson. No,
That's
I'm kidding.
Right. Emily, there have actually been calls. There's this Reuters headline. This is from March 7th. Transgender broadcaster reports J.K. Rowling to police over social media comments.
I mean, first of all, I was called him the other day to my face, but in that person's defense, I think English was their second language. So I took it in grace. I was like, that's okay. You call me him anymore or whatever, it's fine. Look, the bottom line is what you're talking about is clogging the law enforcement system because people had their feelings hurt. That's a travesty, and I pray that because of those floods of calls, there isn't someone who actually needs help, an actual emergency, where police can't get there in time because they were busy fielding a phone call from someone crying who got their feelings hurt from a tweet. And I point out when we talk about it in this bird's eye view, well, what isn't being done while everyone is obsessing over being offended? Never mind what we are taught, which is be slow to offend and quick to forgive. A lot. Remember that Democrat lawmaker, for example, in Virginia, who stood up, huffed, and stomped out instead of continuing to legislate because that person was accidentally misgendered? Remember that? So, I mean, the list goes on. California, professors, and the like. So know where your tax dollars are being wasted and how evil is laughing it at us. Because while this is being stirred up, they're just pouring across all the open avenues of how to plot our demise next. This is the first major step.
Lauren, a former advisor to Boris Johnson, he told Fox News Digital this: Scotland continues to infringe upon the right of her citizens to speak freely. This bill will force police to investigate those who misgender someone in a country riddled by knife crime with one of the lowest life expectancies in Europe. You would think the Scottish government has more important things to focus on, but no, they're desperate to pander to an extremely small group of men in dresses who feel offended when they are not referred to as women. But he goes on to make a really important point. Where are the laws protecting women and stopping men from entering into female sports competitions? Where are they?
What I was going to say. How do you address real women issues when you can't call a man a man, right? When you think about it. So it's about feelings. And in Scotland, they actually updated the definition of transgender, so it includes your biology and your identity.
Your
Identities constantly change. So it's like if you're a cross-dresser, like it could be confusing to a lot of people. Now you're wasting police resources.
And let me just say,
for getting something.
I mean, it's a hate crime now. So I guess I feel like I'm black. So then anything perpetrated against me would be a hate crime. No, you actually have to be.
Let me just point out, they're the only country where it's the first country I saw men in skirts. Playing the bagpipes. So right away, they're challenging you to wonder what's going on there. But they wear skirts.
It's funny. I was going to say,
not skirts.
William Wallace. I'd love to resurrect him and get his thoughts. And he was a man in a dress, but he pulled off that dress quite well. William Wallace and Mel Gibson. Go watch the movie Braveheart.
Wow, we're right back to Braveheart.
I love it.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.